ॐ गणकर्ता गणपतिर्दिग्वासाः काम एव च मन्त्रवित् परमो मन्त्रः सर्वभावकरो हरः गणकर्ता गणपतिर्दिग्वासाः काम एव च मन्त्रवित् परमो मन्त्रः सर्वभावकरो हरः गणकर्ता गणपतिर्दिग्वासाः काम एव च. Yes, ma'am. Any question? Oh, okay. Is the screen visible to everybody? Okay, maybe there's an internet issue then, ma'am, on your side, perhaps. Okay, I'll send a link on the group. You can maybe download that document and sc scroll it. No worries. I have shared one link on the group, ma'am. Please refer to it. It's if you just click on the recent most link, it will take you to the place. If you can read in Kannada also, it's fine. If you prefer in Devanagari, you can toggle between either languages. So you will not need to rely on looking at the screen where we have joined. You can actually just minimize this and open your uh, mobile. Anyway, let's continue. Ganakarta Ganapatir Digvasah Kama Eva Cha Mantravit Paramo Mantras Sarva Bhavakaro Haraha कमण्डलुधरो धन्वी बाणहस्तः कपालवान् अशनीशतघ्ने खड्गे पट्टिशी चायुधी महान् कमण्डलुधरो धन्वी बाणहस्तः कपालवान् अशनीशतघ्ने खड्गे पट्टिशी चायुधी महान् कमण्डलुधरो धन्वी बाणहस्तः कपालवान् अशनीशतघ्ने खड्गे पट्टिशी चायुधी महान् श्रुवहस्तः सुरूपश्च तेजस्तेजस्करो निधिः उष्णीषी उष्णीषी च सुवक्त्रश्च उदग्रो विनतस्तथा श्रुवहस्तः सुरूपश्च तेजस्करो निधिः उष्णीषी च सुवक्त्रश्च उदग्रो विनतस्तथा श्रुवहस्तः सुरूपश्च तेजस्करो निधिः उष्णीषी च सुवक्त्रश्च उदग्रो विनतस्तथा. This word here is suvaktrascha. Suvaktra. Suvaktrascha. So how do you pronounce? Suvaktrascha. S-U su V-A-K vak trash T-R-A-S-H trash cha C-H-A. Ushnishi cha suvaktrash cha udagro vinatas tatha. This word is tejas karo nidhihi. Tejas karo nidhihi. Sruvahastas surupascha tejas karo nidhihi. Ushnishi cha suvaktrash च उदग्रो विनतस्तथा दीर्घश्च हरिकेशश्च सुतीर्थः कृष्ण एव च शृगालरूपः सिद्धार्थो मुण्डः सर्वशुभङ्करः दीर्घश्च हरिकेशश्च सुतीर्थः कृष्ण एव च त्रिगालरूपः सिद्धार्थो मुण्डः सर्वशुभङ्करः दीर्घश्च हरिकेशश्च सुतीर्थः कृष्ण एव च शृगालरूपः सिद्धार्थो मुण्डः सर्वशुभङ्करः. This word here is Harikeshash cha. Harikeshash cha. Dirghash cha. Harikeshash cha. Sutirthah. Because after the Visarga, Ka comes. So whenever Ka comes before, sorry, after the Visarga changes to a Ach. A-H. A sound like A-H. Ach. And a very guttural H. Sutirth Krishna Evacha. Don't overdo it, but yeah. Sutrugala Rupa Siddhartho Mundas Sarva Shubhankaraha. Sarva Shubhankaraha. Sarva Shubhankaraha. Shrigala Rupas Siddhartho Mundas Sarva Shubhankaraha. Let's discuss the meaning. Gana Karta. Gana we have seen yesterday is the group, the hordes of ghouls and ghosts and magical beings around him. Gana Karta. He forms those Gana. He is the creator of those Ganas. Ganapatir. He is the Lord of the Ganas. Pati, wherever it comes, just understand it is Lord. So Ganapati means Lord of Ganas. Ikshwakupati means the lord of the Ikshwakus. Kulapati means the head or the leader of the Kula, of the clan, and so on. Digvasaha, Digvasa. Dig, Dig is direction, space. So Dikvasaha. Vasaha means clothes. Dikvasaha means one who is clothed, who wears the directions or the cosmos itself as his clothes. So there are two meanings to this. One is literally, it means one who has clothed himself with the universe. Secondly, with space. Second is one who is Digambara, one who is naked. Right? Both have a very similar meaning. Digambara or Digvasa is the same. One who is sky clad, which means one who doesn't really wear anything. He's just bare bodied. Kama eva cha. Eva means only. Cha. These are all just filler words. Cha, eva. Whenever they occur in such stotrams, are just fillers to complete the meter, to complete the number of syllables and complete the chandas. He is kamaha eva. He is himself desire. So it is like we discussed yesterday. Desire, lust is not really something which we brush under the carpet. We don't have a duplicitous Victorian morality. So Shiva himself, though he destroyed Kama, is also in his cosmic form Kama itself. He is also desire itself. Mantravit, he knows the mantras. Paramaha mantraha, he is the greatest mantra. Sarva bhava karo haraha. Sarva bhava karaha. Now again we have seen kara. Kara means to do, to create. Sarva bhava karaha. One who creates all bhavas. One who creates all emotions. And haraha. Hara is one who destroys. Kamandalu dharaha. Kamandalu, you are very familiar with, is it not? The pot which the sages carry is called Kamandalu. Kamandalu Dhara, one who carries the Kamandalu. Dhanvi, one who carries the bow. If you remember, he is also the hunter. So a hunter always goes with carries his bow. Banahasta, he carries the arrows in his hand. Banahastaha. Kapalavan, he also carries Kapala. Kapala means a skull. So if you remember, if you look at this imagery of Shiva, the Shmashanavasi, he carries a bow and arrow, a skull, and a kamandalu. Kapalavan. Why? Because he represents the tantric sadhana. He represents the left wing sadhana. Now, this is not left wing and right wing of politics. It is, there are two paths called the left path, the Vama Patha, and the Dakshina Patha. Vama Marga, Dakshina Marga. So, in the Dakshina Marga, which is also called as, you know, Savya Marga, um, we what we do as regular puja, the aarti, the flowers, etc. These are all come under the Dakshina Patha, where it is sattvic in nature. Whereas sattvic or sometimes rajasic. Whereas the Vama Marga tries to worship the deity by uh, sublimating the tamas or the inertia based modes of worship, the dark modes of worship. That is, all the usual animal instincts in us, we use them to sublimate those desires into something which is higher and more purified. So, for example, in Tantra, we have the Pancha Makaras. So, which means Matsya means meat. Matsya means fish, and Mamsa is meat, and Madhya means drinks, hard drinks, and we have Maithuna, which means sex, and we have Mudra. Mudra means it can be either mudras, that is the yoga mudras, or it is also the drugs. So all these five very usual methods of escape that any person relies on for escaping his turmoils, his or her loneliness, etc. The sages have described a marga called the Vama marga, where using these very things, you try to slowly elevate a person from where he currently is to something which is more subtle. So, for example, an addict of, let's say, alcohol, you can't, preach to him that no, just chuck away all these alcohol business and from tomorrow wear clothes, wear fresh dhoti and come sit in before God and do abhishekam, correct? So you try to, the sages have devised these methods to address people at where they are. That is one. And secondly, Shiva represents that marga which challenges and rebels against every social norm. So he lives in the smashanas. So smashana is looked down upon by society. It is kept at the edge of society, right? He doesn't wear anything. So that again is against civilization, because civility literally means also encompasses we wearing clothes and being modest. And we also have seen in he is mahareta. He just ejaculates here and where, etc. So he's a cynic to society. He doesn't really care for the norms and rules of civility and modesty. So he is such kind. I mean, you also see he's an unmatta vesha prachanna. He puts on a guise of being an unmatta, a mad person. And we know what happens to mad people in society, right? They are just thrown into asylums because we as society don't really want to deal with a problem which challenges every basic principles and foundational axioms of society. So that is what we do. So we ostracize anything which is so-called uncivilized away from society. And so Shiva represents even those which are ostracized. And thus he is a sannyasi who also is like a tribal, who bears a skull, and he is a ashani. Ashani means one who eats. Ashani. Shatagni, one who kills 1,000 times, which means one who hunts to eat for his food, to provide for himself and his family. So he's called a Shatagni. Khadgi, who carries a sword. Pattishi, one who carries Patisha is a very weird kind of a weapon, which is what Kali carries. So that curved, crescent-shaped sword is called Patisha. Cha Ayudhi. Ayudhi is he bears many other arms on him, and Mahan, he is the greatest. So this entire purport of the shloka is that he, like I said, he also represents the ugly versions and the ostracized segments of the society. Sruva he, his hand is Sruva. Sruva means uh, a spoon which is used to do the oblations in the Homa. You see, there is a very stark contrast between him being a Kamandaludhara and a Kapalavan bearing a skull. And now this other shloka is describing him on the Dakshina Marga, on the Sattvika Marga, where he does all these homas. And so it'll describe it as Sruvahastaha, one who holds the spoon in order to offer the oblations to the fire. Surupa, he is very beautiful, very civil, very modest, very handsome. Cha and Tejas Karo Nidhihi. Kara means who does, who creates. He creates the tejas, he creates the energy and the radiance in those places and people who are themselves very radiant. So, what we discuss about in the 10th chapter of the Gita, where Krishna says, Yadyad Vibhuti Mat Sattvam, whatever good you see in this world, whatever noble talent you see in this world, all of that is an expression of myself. Similarly, here Shiva is he who grants that tejas, that talent, that energy in those who we recognize as being talented, who we recognize as being very radiant, very charming. Nidhihi, this we have seen, is he is a treasure. Ushnishi, one who wears a turban. Ushnisha means a turban. One who wears a turban. So it means a basic. So wearing a turban was a sign of a layman in society. So everyone, whichever, regardless of whichever caste, they would always wear this turban. So Ushnishi means a one very common layman, a citizen of a country. Cha and Suvaktraha cha. He is also Suvaktra. His face is very magnificent, very handsome, very charming, very magnetic. Suvaktraha cha. Udagraha. Udagraha means one who is placed above all. Udagra means like a leader. Ud Agra. Agra means, when we say Agrani, means one who is kept in the forefront to lead the village, to lead as a panchayat head or something. So Udagraha, Vinataha, one who is placed down. Vinataha, Tatha. Tatha means also. So just as he is also the head of society, he is the leader of the society. He is also the one who is suppressed or who is kept down in society. Vinataha. He is both the proud, he is also both the humble. He is also both the prime minister, the king, as well as the slave. So this is the meaning of the 44th shloka. 45th says, Dirghaha cha Harikeshaha cha. Dirgha, he is very tall. Harikeshaha. So Harikesha is actually a Vedic word. It actually means one who has, golden or green hair. So that's very unusual because I mean the question comes: did he actually dye his hair? It is not so but why they call him Harikesha is because they envision Shiva as being a tree. And what is the hair? Kesha means a hair. What is the hair of a tree? It is the leaves. So similarly, Shiva is a vriksha, and so a vriksha is also called as Harikesha, one who has green hairs or like a croton leaf. You have seen those, right? The golden, green mixed leaves. That is what the Vedas call Shiva as. And why is that so? Because he represents the shrubs, the vegetation of land. Harikeshaha cha. Sutirthaha. He is also the best tirtha. Tirtha here refers to water bodies. We say tirtha kshetra. Tirtha is one, the best, the holiest of all tirtha kshetra. Krishna evacha. Again, evacha are just fillers. Krishna. Krishna means he is dark. He is dark skinned. Shrigala Rupaha. He is also the form, he takes on the form of a Shrigala, of a fox. And this is also very interesting because Shrigala Rupa, we always associate fox with cunning, is it not? It manipulates, it finds its way by jugad here and there, and it hunts on already hunted prey and such. So Shrigala Rupaha is a name given to Shiva. And interestingly, the word Shiva actually also means a fox. Just as the word Hari also means a monkey, Shiva also means a fox. And I have two interpretations to this. I have read. One is that Shrigala Rupa, he is called a fox because he represents cunning. He also, like we have discussed, he is also the bad elements of society. So he is also cunning. He represents those who are very manipulative, what we call as narcissists, uh, who manipulate others for their own benefit and exploit others. So that is what he is. The other meaning is, if you have seen, Shrigala can also mean a wolf. So we always say a lone wolf, right? He is the we say sigma nowadays in modern Gen Z language. We call such a archetype as a sigma, means one who does not really belong or form groups like an alpha, who doesn't depend on others for validation, but he also hunts by himself. He stays away from all herds and prides. He hunts, he dominates, he lives the way he wants, and uh, he is also unquestioned in power and strength. So even the alpha of a pride of a group of animals fears the sigma. Do you follow? So in that sense, he is called a lone wolf, the Shrigala Rupaha. Siddhartha. Siddhartha is one who has achieved the purpose of life. Siddhartha. Artha means purpose. Siddha Artha means one who has achieved that purpose in life. Siddhartha. Mundaha, one who is bald, who has clean shaven his head. Mundaha. Sarva Shubham Karaha. Sarva, everything. Shubham, good. Kara, does. One who does all good to us. Any questions so far in these 5 shlokas? Any inputs? All right, then let's go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
The 45th sloka, you said Harikeshascha means he's having green hair. The next time it says Mundaha means he is without hair.
That's true. That's correct. So, as we have already discussed, Shiva represents both. So he actually represents everything. ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲ ತತ್ವಗಳನ್ನ ಸಮೂಹ ರೂಪ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಯಾರು ಬೋಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಶಿವನೇ, ಯಾರು ಕೂದಲು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಜಟೆ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೋ ಅವನು ಕೂಡ ಶಿವನೇ ಅನ್ನೋ ಆ ಅರ್ಥದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಜಟಾಧಾರಿ, ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಶಿವ. One who has cleanly shaven his head, he also represents Shiva. So basically, in each of these namas, we will always be able to find contradictions. So at one place he will say he's Shweta, he is white in color, but at other places he says he's Krishna. So this mutual contradiction is resolved only because we tend to think Shiva is one person, right? So it is not so. Shiva is that tattva, he is that principle which is present in everybody, and so in everything, everybody, everywhere, in all phenomenon. So describing any phenomenon is as good as describing Shiva. So that is the philosophy behind any namavali. Next. अजश्च बहुरूपश्च गन्धधारी कपर्द्यपि ऊर्ध्वरेता ऊर्ध्वलिङ्ग ऊर्ध्वशायी नभस्थलः अजश्च बहुरूपश्च गन्धधारी कपर्द्यपि ऊर्ध्वरेता ऊर्ध्वलिङ्ग ऊर्ध्वशायी नभस्थलः अजश्च बहुरूपश्च गन्धधारी कपर्द्यपि ऊर्ध्वरेता ऊर्ध्वलिङ्ग ऊर्ध्वशायी नभस्थलः. This word here is kapardi api, kapardyapi, 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 kapardyapi. Ajascha bahurupascha gandhadhari kapardyapi. ऊर्ध्वरेता ऊर्ध्वलिङ्ग ऊर्ध्वशायी नभस्थलः. I think it will be more helpful if I describe the meanings one by one. Maybe that way you can also understand what these words, how they are split. Ajash, Aja is one who is one who is not born. Ja means one who has Janma, one who is born. Aja means one who is not born, one who has no birth or death. Aja, Cha, Bahurupa, Cha. Bahurupa means one who is of multiple forms. Bahurupa. Gandhadhari. He wears perfume on him. He wears a perfume. Gandha is perfume. Gandhadhari. So very civilized. Kapardyapi. Kapardi api. Kapardi means one who uh, has very long hairs. He is called Kapardi. Kaparda means very long, matted beard and such. Such an appearance is called Kapardi. Kapardi api. So at the same time, he is unkempt as he is civilized and modest, wearing perfumes. So there is this mutual seeming apparent contradiction, but because he is everything in the world, he is all those people who wear perfumes. He is also those people who leave their hairs unkempt. Urdhvareta, one who has transformed his semen or his vital fluids into something higher. Urdhva means higher. So he is basically a brahmachari. So they say these a man or a woman, whatever, the sexual energy is placed in the Muladhara. It's there at the bottom of the spine, and that is the place where all basal instincts in all humans, in all animals is. That is namely reproduction, food, and sleep. These are the main three functions of a living organism, correct? Especially of humans. So these three instincts come from this fluid, is what the belief is. It's called the Kundalini. So that Retas is the same energy which is kept there, and he has transformed it by raising it to such a level that all his basal instincts has become sublimated. They have all been sublimated for a higher purpose, a higher goal in life. And he is Urdhva Linga. Now, this is a very controversial word, but please pay very close attention. Please don't consider what I'm saying as being either vulgar or too raw. So Linga is, yes, the Shiva Linga, but the story is it actually is a phallus. If you look at evidence from the Indic Valley civilization, so there, and even in many temples in Shiva, the very old temples of Shiva in Tamil Nadu, there was always this phallic worship. And don't take me wrong, but this is not to demean or bring down the position of Shiva in any which manner. The fact is, that was so because they considered that phallus to be a sign of absolute masculinity, like we discussed yesterday, the yin and the yang. And the yoni. So if you see a linga, you have the cylindrical part and then the base part, right? That is called the yoni. So that is the feminine part. So Shiva, the Shiva worship has always been the conjunction, the communion between the masculine and the feminine energies. And so a very raw way of putting it was in those times just to imagine a phallus and a yoni, right? So an urdhva linga actually means one who has an erect phallus. That is the very literal meaning. But what is the subtle meaning behind it? It means one who is very masculine, one who has a lot of energy and lot of vigor in his life. So that such a person is called as an urdhva linga, and he is also an urdhva shayi. Urdhva shayi means one who sleeps above. One who sleeps above all the cosmos is called an urdhva shayi. One who sleeps above. So what does it literally mean? So it means all of us are sleeping down below, and he sleeps above. So all that is below is represented as the feminine. So the feminine is the support and he sleeps above it. So in all of these tantric images, you see Shiva above while Parvati is below. So this is not to show patriarchy. It is only to show that the masculine energy likes to dominate, right? And the feminine energy always likes to receive, whether a man or a human. I mean, a man or a woman, if even if a woman has a masculine energy, she will like to dominate. Even if a man has feminine energy, he like to receive, he like to be passive. So it is nothing to do with the genders, it is only to do with the energies, what the characteristic of the energies are. So he sleeps above the cosmos. In a sense, the cosmos is as good as his partner, his wife, which is Parvati herself, and he as God is merged with cosmos as a representation of a couple. So that is how many interpreters have decoded this word urdhva shayi. Nabhasthalaha. So it makes sense. You see, nabhas means the space, sky. Sthala means he has turned the cosmos into his platform. So he sits on the cosmos, he sleeps on the cosmos. So he is called Nabhasthala, the absolute divine masculine is sitting on the platform of the cosmos. त्रिजटी चीरवासाश्च रुद्रसेनापतिर्विभुः त्रिजटी चीरवासाश्च रुद्रसेनापतिर्विभुः त्रिजटी चीरवासाश्च रुद्रसेनापतिर्विभुः आहश्चरो न तंचरस तिग्मा मन्युस suvarchasah. Pay very close attention here. It's a very big word. I'll break it down for you. Ahash charo naktan charas tigma manyus suvarchasah. I'll repeat it once again. Ahash charo naktan charas tigma manyus suvarchasah. Ahash charo naktan charas tigma manyus suvarchasah. Ahash charo naktan charas tigma manyus suvarchasah. त्रिजटी चीरवासाश्च रुद्रसेनापतिर्विभुः आहश्चरो नक्तञ्चरस्तिग्ममन्युः सुवर्चसः. Trijati is one who has three folded knots. So you see, every 100 years, it's the belief that every 100 years, mm, you tie the jata properly. So, three jati means one who has done tapasya for 300 years typically, because after every 100 years, you tie one. I mean, it's very hard to explain without showing you with hands and such. But just imagine. I mean, the women may know it, right? You tie a three folded knot into a plate. So similarly, you have one jata, that is, you just keep it unkempt for the first 100 years of your tapasya, and then that is called eka jati. Dvijati means one who ties it into two halves, and three jati means one who keeps his hair into three. He who ties his hair into three parts. So three jati. Basically, this entirely means he has done a lot of tapasya. Chira vasaha. Chira means minimal. It also means an animal skin. Chira vasaha. He wears an animal skin. Rudraha. He is the howler. Rudra means one who roars, one who howls. Senapatihi. Pati we have seen means the Lord. Senapati means one who is the Lord of the army, who is the commander in chief. Vibhu means Lord, Lord, Lord. Ahaschara. Ahas means in the morning, in the daytime. Ahaschara, one who walks in the morning, means the Devas. Naktam Chara. Nakta is night. And interestingly, the word night, Night, it is derived in many so ways from the word Nakta itself. Nakta becomes Night, of course, through Latin and other Indo-European languages. The etymology traces itself back to the word Nakta only. So, Naktam Chara, one who walks in the night, basically the uh, demons. So he is both the gods, he is also the demons. Naktam Charaha. Tigma Manyuhu. Tigma Manyuhu. Tigma means very sharp. Manyu means anger, who has a very focused, very sharp anger, very easily triggerable. Tigma Manyan, very powerfully, he has very powerful wrath. Tigma Manyuhu Suvarchasaha. His varchas, his fame is Su. It is very large. It is very vast. He has wide acclaimed fame. Suvarchasaha. त्रिजटी चीरवासाश्च रुद्रसेनापतिर्विभुः अहश्चरो नक्तञ्चरस्तिग्ममन्युः सुवर्चसः गजः दैत्यः कालो लोकधाता गुणाकरः सिंह शार्दूल रूपश्च आर्द्रचर्माम्बरावृतः गजः दैत्यः कालो लोकधाता गुणाकरः सिंहशार्दूलरूपश्च आर्द्रचर्माम्बरावृतः गजः दैत्यः कालो लोकधाता गुणाकरः सिंहशार्दूलरूपश्च आर्द्रचर्माम्बरावृतः. This word here is Simha, Shardula, Rupascha. Cha always means and. Simha, Shardula, Rupascha, Ardra, Charmambara Vritaha. Ardra, Charmambara Vritaha. Ardra, Charmambara Vritaha. गजः दैत्यः कालो लोकधाता गुणाकरः सिंहशार्दूलरूपश्च आर्द्रचर्माम्बरावृतः. गजः. Ha means one who kills. Hanim karoti. One who kills, one who slays. Gajaha, he slayed the Gajasura, the elephant demon. Daityaha, he has killed many demons like Apasmara and such. I forget the names. Bhasmasura was one other, and Andhakasura and Yama and other such Daityas were killed by him. So he didn't actually kill Yama, but he did destroy his pride. Kalaha, his space. Sorry, his time. Loka dhata. Loka is the words. Dhata, one who upholds, one who sustains the worlds. Loka dhata, one who sustains the worlds. Gunakara, kara we have seen, correct? Akara, gunakara, one who is of the form of gunas, of good qualities, of all characteristics. Gunakara. Simha, lion. Shardula is tiger. So now there are two meanings. I will explain both. Simha, Shardula. He is Rupa. Rupa means of the form. He is of the form of a tiger as well as a lion. The other meaning is, so there is this very popular story in the Shaiva Puranas that when Narasimha got very angry, right? Even Prahlada was not able to appease him after killing Hiranyakashipu. He was not able to control his wrath. So he went on a spree of destruction and causing havoc in the world. The gods got very, annoyed, very concerned with this situation, and so they go to Shiva because they know that Narasimha is a very powerful deity, a very powerful god, and who can really control his wrath is only Shiva. So they go and approach Shiva, they plead Shiva and say, please ask Vishnu in the form of Narasimha to calm down because he doesn't seem to be so. And he will soon cause pralaya itself in this world. So Shiva, agrees to this request. And so he takes the form of a Shardula. And Shardula technically is a hybrid of a lion, of an eagle, of an elephant, of a human, and of a god. So five elements together he takes that form, which is like a very huge monster, a very divine monster of these five elements, thus representing the five actual elements of the universe: space, fire, earth, water, and air. So these five elements together come in form of a Shardula, very humongous beast, as large as the cosmos itself, and it subdues Narasimha. So that interpretation here is being taken. Simha Shardula Rupascha. He is of the form of the Shardula who dominated or who subdued Simha, which is Narasimha. Ardra Charmambaravritaha. Okay, to just finish that story. So thus Narasimha, so when he gets subdued, Narasimha accepts defeat, and his wrath goes away and he surrenders. He prostrates before Shiva, and then because his wrath has gone away, Narasimha, the form of Narasimha vanishes, and there stays the Vishnu Rupi, the Surupi, the very handsome Vishnu in that place. And so Loka Kalyana has thus once again prevailed. Ardra Charma Ambaravritaha. Ardra means wet. Charma means skin. Ambara means the sky. Avritaha. He is clothed. So what does it mean? So Ardra Charmambaravritaha means, again two meanings. Ardra Charma means a fresh, wet skin. And when is it wet? Only after it has been just peeled, when it has been skinned from the animal, it is wet. So he represents that ugly, that ferocious anger of a tribal man who has just peeled the skin of very many Rakshasas and he has clothed himself with it. Ambara avritaha. So Ambara again means the directions. Avrita means he has clothed. So he is either clothed with the wet skin of ferocious animals, or he is clothed in the sky. That is, he is basically not clothed in, doesn't wear any clothes. He is naked. So Ardra Charma Ambaravritaha. How do you pronounce this? Ardra Charmambaravritaha. Simha Shardula Rupascha Ardra Charmambaravritaha. Gajaha Daityaha Kalo Lokadhata Gunakaraha. सिंह शार्दूल रूपश्च आर्द्र चर्मांबरावृतः कालयोगी महानादः सर्वकामश्चतुष्पथः निशाचरः प्रेतचारी भूतचारी महेश्वरः कालयोगी महानादः सर्वकामश्चतुष्पथः निशाचरः प्रेतचारी भूतचारी महेश्वरः कालयोगी महानादः सर्वकामश्चतुष्पथः निशाचरः प्रेतचारी भूतचारी महेश्वरः Kala Yogi, is a class of yogis who are able to time travel. We think time traveling is a very new concept, a very modern sci-fi idea. It is not so. There has always been mentions of yogis who are able to go into the past, access the future, change events, and all this magical stuff has been happening, is what the scriptures at least tell. The yogic scriptures say. So he is the Kala Yogi, Mahanada. He comes with a great sound, a great reverberation, a great background music. Mahanadaha. Sarva Kamash Chatushpathaha. He is all the desires of the world. Any desire that we can think of, he is that desire. That is one meaning. And secondly, he is the object of all desire. You see, God, that is Shiva, represents ultimate happiness, right? The ultimate fulfillment. And why do we desire? Because in a way we feel empty and we desire to possess as an object, a person, have a relationship to fill our time. So these are the most common motivations for any desire. And so we are all trying to reach fulfillment. And so Sarva Kamaha also means one who is the fulfillment of all desires. So it is he, Shiva alone, that all of us are seeking, but in different ways. So even the yogi is seeking that very ananda that a rich, a wealthy man, a beggar, a samsari, like me, a pandita, or any scholar, any uh, entertainment seeker, any alcoholic, any person, any animal too, any plant too, is all looking for expansion. That's the basic philosophy of, that's the common feature in all philosophies. So what is the human need? The human nature is to expand, is to go beyond our limits. So he is the Sarva Kama. He is all that effort and desires which are meant to break these boundaries, break these limitations. So he is Sarva Kamaha. Chatushpathaha. He is the confluence of four paths. And what four paths is being referred to here? The four paths which was first described by Adi Shankaracharya and later reinforced by Swami Vivekananda, that There is the Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, and the Jnana Yoga. So he is like that circle where four roads come and meet. So all the four words, though seemingly very different in different directions, finally emerge into this Shiva Tattva alone. Nishacharaha, he walks in the night. Nishachara, again, it means he it's like a demon, Rakshasa, Pretachari, and he also walks amidst pretas, amidst deceased souls. Bhutachari, he walks with living creatures. So Preta means one who is already dead. Bhuta means one who is still living. So that's the difference. But in Kannada and other many vernaculars, we say Bhuta Preta, alva? So Bhuta Preta we tend to say means these ghosts and ghouls, disembodied beings. But technically Bhuta means those which are living. Preta means that which has left the body. So Bhutachari, Pretachari, Maheshwaraha, he is the Supreme Lord. He walks with both living beings as well as with dead beings. He walks in the night, he also walks in the day. Bahubhuto bahudhara swarbhanuramito gatihi nritya priyo nitya narto nartakas sarvalalasah बहुभूतो बहुधरस् स्वर्भानुरमितो गतिः नृत्यप्रियो नित्यनर्तो नर्तकः सर्वलालसः बहुभूतो बहुधरस् स्वर्भानुरमितो गतिः नृत्य प्रियो नित्यनर्तो नर्तकः सर्वलालसः. This word here is Swar Bhanur Amito Gatihi. Swar Bhanur Amito Gatihi. Swar Bhanur Amito Gatihi. बहुभूतो बहुधर स्वर्भानुरमितो गतिः नृत्य प्रियो नित्यनर्तो नर्तकः सर्वलालसः बहुभूतः he is the form of many living creatures. Bahudharah he carries many things, he shoulders many responsibilities. Bahudhara. Dhara means to shoulder, to hold. Swarbhanuhu. Swar means heaven, means the sky. Swarbhanuhu means that which enlivens the sky, which enlightens the sky, which brightens the sky, which means basically the sun. Swarbhanuhu, one which brightens the sky. Swarbhanuhu. Amito gatihi. Amitaha. Mitaha means limited. Amitaha gatihi, that which whose gait, whose strides, whose movement, gati is amitaha, is unlimited. He walks infinitely anywhere, anytime. Nobody can obstruct his gati, his pace as well as his movement. So he has infinite movement. So in physics we can say because he has infinite movement, he is also the hottest object, because movement and temperature are very intimately linked. So he also has infinite kinetic energy. So Amitaha Gatihi. And Nritya Priyaha. Nritya Priya, because he does the Tandava. He is the originator of the Natya Shastras. So Nritya Priya, he is Nataraja. He loves to dance. Nitya Nartaha. He is always dancing. Narta means to dance. Nitya Nartaha. He is always in a mood of ecstasy and dancing. So just as energy is always dancing about, it goes up in some places, it goes down in some places, it scatters in some directions, there is chaos. So a dance is what we call as ordered chaos. Correct? So you're just springing your hands about. So if it's coordinated, if it is choreographed, it's called dance. If it is just random, you just call, the movement of a random man. Is it not? So similarly, dance is the representation of ordered chaos. So order and chaos are two opposite concepts. They are antagonistic concepts. But Shiva, dancing, literally means he is both entropy and energy. Energy means order, entropy means chaos. So he is the conglomeration, he is the confluence of both these fundamental principles of the universe, Nitya Nartha, and that is truly the most magnificent, most elaborate meaning of doing the Tandava. Nartakaha, he is a Nartaka, he is a dancer. Sarva Lalasaha, Lalasa means uh, entertainer, one who entertains. Sarva Lalasaha, one who entertains everybody, everything in this world. So everything is entertained by the dance of Shiva. And if you look at it philosophically, Shiva, that God is dancing everywhere in this world, and this is the very fundamental idea which is also represented in the Rasa Leela of Sri Krishna. All the Radhas, all the gopis dancing around Krishna. What is it signifying? It is signifying that the cosmos, all of us souls, all of the energy, all of the momentum in this universe is dancing around that principle of God. Similarly, here he is dancing. He is himself dancing. At least in Ras Leela, Krishna in many situations remains still and he only plays the flute while the gopis dance around him. But here he himself, being the center of the universe as well as the periphery of the universe, is dancing everywhere about in great ecstasy and joy. So he is Ananda. He is himself that supreme fulfillment that every atom, molecule, and the greatest mountains and greatest human beings and saints are seeking. घोरो महातपाः पाशो नित्यो गिरिरुहो नभः सहस्रहस्तो विजयो व्यवसायो ह्यतन्द्रितः. Listen carefully. It is ह्यतन्द्रितः. HYA. ह्यतन्द्रितः. घोरो महातपाः पाशो नित्यो गिरिरुहो नभः सहस्रहस्तो विजयो व्यवसायो ह्यतन्द्रितः. घोरो महातपाः पाशो नित्यो गिरिरुहो नभः सहस्रहस्तो विजयो व्यवसायो ह्यतन्द्रितः. घोरो महातपाः पाशो नित्यो गिरिरुहो नभः सहस्रहस्तो विजयो व्यवसायो ह्यतन्द्रितः. घोरो महातपाः पाशो नित्यो गिरिरुहो नभः सहस्रहस्तो विजयो व्यवसायो ह्यतन्द्रितः. Ghora means ghori, Gory. Gori. You say grotesque, right? One which is very ugly, very ferocious, very absurd, and very repugnant. That is called Ghora. Mahatapaha. Mahatapaha, the greatest austerity, one who does the greatest austerity. Pashaha, he is the knot, he is the noose, which binds every soul, every creature, and actually he is the representing death. He is the pasha. He is the noose which is around every living creature, getting tighter and tighter and tighter, and one day it chokes the living creature unto death. So Nityaha, he is ever present, unchanging. Nityaha. Giri Ruhaha. Ruha means to be born. Giri Ruha means that which is born on hills and mountains. So there are two meanings. One is snow, because snow is technically not born, but it's poetically imagined that snow is like the hair of the mountains. It is born from the mountain itself. The other meaning is shrubs, medicinal plants which grow only in altitudes, very high altitudes, medicinal shrubs, medicinal herbs. So Giri Ruha, which is why Anjaneya went to bring the Sanjeevani. Where was it? It was on a Sanjeevani mountain. Those few medicinal plants were on the mountain of Sanjeevani. And even Meru, Kailasa, Mandara. Why did they use the Mandara to churn the ocean, right? Because they said it had medicinal properties which would combine with the Kshira Sagara, like you are adding extra flavor to your buttermilk. So that is why they use the Mandara Parvata. And similarly, all these mountains, it is believed that the rivers which flow from these mountains are the purest and most medicinal. And it is quite understandable even geologically, because they have very rare minerals and uh, compounds which are useful for these plants for agriculture, which are natural fertilizers. So that is what Giriruha is. Nabhaha means the sky, cosmos. He is the sky. Sahasra Hastaha. He has 1,000 arms, and literally not just counting 1, 2, 3 till 1,000. Sahasra in Sanskritam poetically is just like saying a crore. He has a crore hands. Nobody has counted from 1 to a crore, but it just is an expression to mean he has infinite hands. And how is that? Because he represents all humans. So you can count, there are 8 billion of us. So 2 into 8 billion. So 16 billion hands, you can technically say it so. And that is just considering the humans. If you consider the ants, the spiders, and all of these, basically the word is signifying, it's pointing that he is the one who does things. Sahasra Hasta. What do you use your hands for? It's for movement, for doing things. So he is technically the doer of all actions. Vijayaha, he is victory. Vijaya, he is victory. He is the joy you get upon when you conquer things. Vyavasayaha. Vyavasayaha is effort. Here tandritaha, that is split as he plus atandrita. He is just a filler. Atandrita means one who is not sleepy. Tandrita means tandra means sleep, stupor, laziness. Atandritaha means one who is unaffected by sleep, by laziness, by tamasic qualities. He's always ever enthusiastic, very up and about. And which is why he is also Vyavasaya. Vyavasaya means effort. In Kannada we say Vyavasaya madodu anta. Andre, to do parishrama, to do efforts, to put in the hard work, to put in the long hours. And therefore he's also Vijaya, because he is success. Do you see? There is some connection between these words. If you think about it deeply and deeply, and every time we come back to these words, more and more meanings seem to emerge. One last, and then we'll wrap up. Agharshano gharshanatma yajnaha kamanashakaha dakshayagapahari cha susaho madhyamastatha अधर्षणो धर्षणात्मा यज्ञः कामनाशकः क्षयागापहारी च सुसहो मध्यमस्तथा अधर्षणोद्धर्षणात्मा यज्ञः कामनाशकः दक्षयागापहारी च सुसहो मध्यमस्तथा. This word is dakshayagapahari. Dakshayagapahari. Susaho madhyamas tatha. Madhyamas tatha. Adharshano dharshanatma yajnaha kamanashakah दक्षयागापहारी च सुसहो मध्यमस्तथा. Adharshano. Dharshana means one who is proud. Adharshano is one who is very modest, very humble. But he is also dharshanatma. He is definitely capable of being very proud. Adharshano dharshanatma. Again, antagonistic themes. Yajnaha kamanashakaha. He destroys all the yajnas. If you remember, he is also the Rakshasas. So he is in the form of Rakshasas. So he also destroys the yajnas. Kamanashakaha. He also destroys our desires. All our, lusts, fantasies, fetishes, all of that can be destroyed if we approach Shiva. Dakshayagapahari, a very famous folk tale. I would not even say folk tale, it's a Puranic story that when Sati was not invited and still she went to her father's house, and her father started criticizing her and her husband in front of the entire Sadas. She got really angry and then she jumped into the yajna and she immolated herself. Looking at which Shiva got angry, he came down, he took the form of Veerabhadra, he destroyed the yaga and killed Daksha. So all of that represented with just one word, Daksha Yaga Apahari. Daksha Yaga Apahari, one who destroyed Apahari, the yaga of Daksha. Susaha. Susaha means one who is very tolerant. Very tolerant of and highly defensive. So sahas also means defense. Susaha means one who has a lot of defense, who guards things well. Madhyamas tatha. He is also the madhyama. Madhyama means he is the layman. He is the mediocre people. He is also the most powerful defensive soldier. He is also the madhyama. He is also not anything very special. So this marks the end of our class today. Any inputs? Once again, most welcome. Any remarks? Anything that you want to add to these shlokas and the meanings? The floor is open. Is there any question as such? Are you all able to understand? Is the pace too high? Some feedback would be greatly appreciated.
This is absolutely okay.
Okay.
One thing learning is that Shiva is a multifaceted personality. He is positive as well as negative quality. Very
Absolutely.
you for me, right? I always looked at the Almighty, God, and there are so many people.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely true. So the first word itself was Vishwarupa. So he is the form of the universe. So anything in the universe is him. So though we may or may not accept that he can be a form of a Rakshasa, or he can be the evil person who is troubling us, unfortunately, such good, bad, and evil, these constructs are in our minds. So Shiva being the principle which is beyond the mind, and thus is envisioned as, and I think that actually is the purpose behind elaborating all both the negative as well as positive qualities of the world as being Shiva. Maybe it is there for us to somehow go beyond our aversion to negativity, right? So we like to only categorize and box things and people in the world into two things: one, good, bad, something which we are comfortable with, some people who are things which we are not comfortable with. Maybe the point was to bridge this gap and to take things out of this box and just accept everything as Shiva. That's what maybe the intent behind calling Shiva as Rakshasa, as Deva, as the Munda, as the shaven head, as the Surupi, and such. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. It was really
Message ultimately having so many personalities, multiple. What is the message to mankind? Maybe you'll be getting about that.
I am myself not sure, ma'am. I mean anything that you could think of, please do share with us. I think the message is just that uh, this is what I feel. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think it is just the Vishwarupatva. So when even Krishna shows the Vishwarupa Darshana to Arjuna, he says, I am seeing all the Yakshas, Gandharvas, Rakshasas in you. I am seeing all the your fiery face, which is engulfing the world. It is eating the good people. It is eating the bad people. You have come as death, and so on and so forth. So that Vishwarupa that he showed in those some 54 verses, again is elaborated here in all of these Namavalis. And this is what I personally feel, that to see God in everything, that is the message ultimately, is what I think. But yes, you can tell me your view.
I think now, like I'm getting a point. So yeah, even sometimes we completely negate bad people. So I mean, people who have bad qualities, okay, types, but there is a God even in them.
True, correct. Very beautiful.
Just thought like that. You were telling this thought.
Yes, ma'am. It's very beautiful. Yes, please go on, Ms. Bhavani.
Yeah, so please carry on. Indira Di, please carry on. No problem. No, I'm done. I'm done. You can carry on now. Yeah. So, in my humble way, the way I try to look at it is that see these double forces are going to be there eternally as long as there is the creation is there, and we are. It's all like for us human beings, we are like put in a gymnasium, and we have to work our way through all these trials and tribulations, the negative forces, overcome them, and keep going towards purity, towards goodness, and to transcend all these things and reach the ultimate Godhead. So unless and there is the karma factor. So when we face a evil person or even circumstances or difficult circumstances, it is these are things that kind of dissipate all our karmas also, and also simultaneously we overcome our weaknesses. So just become stronger and stronger, purer, good, and the goodness ultimately takes us there. So these negative forces are actually helping us in a way to transcend the uh, transcend to where even good and bad, to go beyond good and bad at the end. So but initially we have to go through these things.
Very beautiful, ma'am.
That's what I
Absolutely. It's very beautiful. Yeah. Makes sense. So, I mean, that word that you used was really very significant. You said it, we are like in a gymnasium, so we are using these hardships to train ourselves. Very nice. Yeah, thank you for it. Any other suggestion? Any other comments, remarks, any inputs, please? Okay, let's meet tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock. Somehow Shiva wants to keep the class a little longer. Even 10 shlokas are taking a long time to discuss and elaborate on the meanings, but I'll try to keep it to 1 hour, but no guarantees. Now I have actually given up on trying to restrict it to 1 hour. So let's see.
Yes, yes. It is very, very fulfilling to go through this and to live with the Shiva, what you say, essence and tattva for so long. So it's not a problem with me, at least. I hope others, I don't know, must be feeling the same way. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Dhanyavad. Namaste, namaste. Dhanyavad. Namaste to everybody. Namaste.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.